Shalom, shalom, brother Abaya. First, and give all praise and glory to the Heavenly Father, which is Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah. Yahweh being the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Shah being the Son, who people unknowingly call him Jesus Christ. Lord willing, you're enduring, you praying, you fasting, you giving alms, you're doing everything you need to do to make your calling and election sure in these last days. I want to give peace and blessings to whomsoever may be watching this. I also want to give peace and blessings to whomsoever may not be watching this, yet they believe in the Most High God, they believe in His Son Yahweh Shah, and they're keeping the commandments. Now, this video is titled, Beauty is Vain. Because let's be real, beauty is vain, man. You can be the most comely looking person, looking man. You can be a sister who's very fair to look upon, very so-called beautiful, as the world says. But your spirit is bad, man. You can be the most comely looking person, but your spirit is bad. The Lord is looking on the inward parts, right? So let's get a precept. Let's kick it off Proverbs chapter 31 and verse 10. All right, this is the book of Proverbs chapter 31. It's Proverbs 31 and verse 30, and it reads, "Favor is deceitful, and beauty is vain, but a woman that feareth the Lord, she shall be praised." But I want to touch on Harper's point, right? Salakia. All right, my setup, right? Salaki, bear with me 1 second. So I ain't trying to take away the word, but it's straight because we here, all right? But it says, I want to read it again. Favor is deceitful and beauty is vain. Now we're going to harp on a point where it says beauty is vain. You don't have to be the most comely looking man to do the work of the Lord. You don't have, just because you got a big beard, it's oiled up, you look very comely, so-called. You get the ways and things in that nature. A lot of people look up to you because you're so-called handsome, so-called. Doesn't mean the Lord's dealing with you, man. Just because you got the most mightiest garments on, right? Your dress and the fringes goes together. The fringes is sacking right behind you, right? You got the best head wrap and things in that nature, right? Doesn't mean the Lord's dealing with you. You got nice brown skin and things in that nature for the sisters. Doesn't mean the Lord's dealing with you, man. Because some of our forefathers, they didn't look the best. The Lord don't just choose you because you look so-called good. He chooses a man because he's upright in the spirit. He chooses a woman if they're upright in the spirit. Because even Yahweh Shah, right? Let's get a precept real quick. He's so-called not comely, man. And that's what the scriptures say. Everybody say, yeah, Yahweh Shah, I bet he looks really good. But he said, the Lord said in the scriptures that he has no form of comeliness, man. Right? Let's get that real quick. Isaiah chapter 53. I'll start at verse 1. Who have believed our report, and to whom is the arm of the Lord revealed? For he shall grow up before him as a tender plant, and as a root out of a dry ground. He hath no form nor comeliness, and when we shall see him, there is no beauty that we should desire him. So even Yahweh didn't come to be someone comely, man, handsome. He came as a rough man. When you read the scriptures, our forefathers was rough. They probably had monstrous beards. Don't forget, because we always had to go to war. We was always in the wilderness and things of that nature, always on the go. We didn't have time to get a line up and get a fade. We didn't have time to line up our beards like that, like people do nowadays. Brothers go to the barber every other week and things of that nature. They got spirit on them because they think they look good, and think a prideful spirit on them. But our forefathers back then, guess what? They didn't really care about I don't want to say they didn't care, but they didn't look as people look nowadays, man. Right? Sisters go get their nails done every so week. Right? They put makeup on and things of that nature. Hey, Sarah wasn't putting makeup on, man. Right? So we can't really care about the outside beauty. You gotta care about your inside beauty. How's your spirit looking like? Again, you could be the so-called most handsome or most beautiful man or female, but your spirit is ugly, man. Right? Let's get a precept. Let's go to the classic in 1 Samuel chapter 16. Let's see what the Lord did. Did the Lord pick the mightiest man, right? Or did he choose the person who was upright in the spirit? All right, let's get 1 Samuel chapter 16. We're going to start at verse, let's start at verse 5. All right? 1 Samuel chapter 16 and verse 5. And it reads, "And he said, Peaceably, I am come to sacrifice unto the Lord." This Samuel talking, right? "Sanctify yourselves and come with me to the sacrifice. And he sanctified Jesse and his sons and called them to the sacrifice." So Jesse's the father of David. Samuel told Jesse to come to the sacrifice so he can anoint one of his sons to be king over Israel. Because Saul was going off. And 1st and 2nd Samuel was a really good book to read. I suggest it, recommend it. Right? Verse 6. And it came to pass, when they were come, that he looked on Eliab and said, surely the Lord's anointed is before him. So Samuel looked upon Eliab's. If I'm not mistaken, that's one of the eldest brothers. So Samuel was kind of going off, man. He said, he just looked upon him and said, surely this is God's anointed. Showing you that people in the Bible, even our mighty men, even mighty men so-called today, they still look on the outward appearance and choose them, man. One whole time, the person who's not even thought of, that can be the chosen of the Lord. Don't just go off of the looks and things in that nature, man, because looks are deceiving, right? But your spirit, hey, man, it can't deceive, man. Wherever your spirit brings forth, whether it be good fruits or bad fruits, that's what your spirit is. The fruits of the spirit, man, right? Verse 7, and it reads, but the Lord said unto Samuel, look not on his countenance or on the height of his stature, because I have refused him. For the Lord seeth not as man seeth, for man looketh on the outward appearance, but the Lord looketh on the heart, man. So the Lord refused the people who so-called look good. Don't get me wrong. Our forefathers, they look very comely. They were very comely. The sisters, the daughters of Zion, the daughters of Sarah are very comely. But you may have some sisters, some brothers who think they're not as comely or as beautiful as other people. That's what they think. But whole time, guess what? Every daughter of Zion and every man of the Lord, they're beautiful and unique in their own way. Aren't we above all people? So I don't want nobody to think that of themselves. But at the end of the day, you may have someone who's so-called looking nice, got the mightiest beard. You got a brother, he got a patchy beard, right? Probably poor, man, right? Got holes in his garments. Not the best so-called looking according to this world. But guess what? Out of the man who has the mightiest garment, got the mighty staff, right? Then tight mitre and things of that nature. And the man, who don't really got nothing, who is the Lord choosing? The Lord chooses the man who don't really got nothing. Why? Because his spirit is with the Lord. Is righteous, man. And that man who so-called looked nice with the big mighty beard, like the crimson chin, right? Guess what? He's wicked behind closed doors. A lot of people like to put on the front to act like they're righteous, to make it seem like they're the best ever, but behind closed doors, they be going off, man. So with these sisters. They say shalom, they try to act shamefaced, but whole time in closed doors, man, they hitting their husband upside with the frying pan. Right, let's keep going. Verse 8. And it reads, then Jesse called Abinadab and made him pass before Samuel. And he said, neither hath the Lord chosen this. Right? So the Lord is making every brother of David pass by to see if he's going to be anointed or not. And the Lord just said, this man's not chosen either. Verse 9. Then Jesse made Shammah to pass by, and he said, neither hath the Lord chosen this. Verse 10. Again, Jesse made 7 of his sons to pass before Samuel, and Samuel said unto Jesse, the Lord hath not chosen these, man. So Jesse made 7 of his sons pass by Samuel to see if he's chosen. Guess what? The Lord's not dealing with that. And when you read on down in the scripture, these men were mighty men of war. They was at the camp of the of Saul versus the Philistines, man. Right? So why didn't the Lord choose these mighty men? They probably looked very nice, had a nice beard, right? There was mighty men of war, had a nice so-called physique, body and things of that nature and shape, but the Lord still refused them, right? Verse 11, and Samuel said unto Jesse, are here all thy children? And he said, there remaineth yet the youngest, and behold, he keepeth the sheep. And Samuel said unto Jesse, send and fetch him, for we will not sit down till he come hither. And he sent and brought him in. Now he was ruddy and withal of a beautiful countenance and goodly to look to. And the Lord said, arise, anoint him, for this is he. So the Lord chose the youngest of the brothers, man. He didn't choose the most mighty men, the men of war. He chose the youngest, man, who were just a keeper of the sheep, right? David probably didn't know anything that much about war at that time, right? But over time, he grew mightier, mightier, mightier. It said he was ruddy. Now, ruddy, if you type in, mature, people, you probably heard this term in the world, a red bone. You type it in on Google, a red bone is like a sister, who has brown skin, kind of, man. Nice brown skin, who has a red undertone. Like you have a horse, that's what's called, that's ruddish, man. Ruddy, right? It's like a red brown horse. So David wasn't white. He was a man of color, man. Like, let's stop playing. Right? Verse 13. Then Samuel took the horn of oil and anointed him in the midst of his brethren, and the Spirit of the Lord came upon David from that day forward. So Samuel rose up and went to Ramah. So you see how the Lord chose the youngest, the so-called most feeble, then the most mighty man. That's how the Lord gets down. He's not like everyone else. You might be in high school. They're picking teams for the football team. You got two captains. They're picking teams for the football teams. I want him. He got big calves. He looks tall. I want him. The other person might say, I want him. I heard about you. I heard you was fast. I want him. The next thing you know, everybody's getting picked. You still on the sideline waiting to get picked because you're not as tall. You're probably not as in shape as other brothers and things of that nature. And you're the last one to get picked. And guess what? The team's already even. If you get picked, it will make the teams uneven. And they tell you, go play soccer down there or something. Well, you got next. Right? You didn't get picked. But guess what? Whole time, the Lord chose you out of all those men. Because the Lord don't look on the outward appearance. He look on the inward part, man. Right? You might be a sister who's probably in the world, even in this truth, you feel like you set apart. You feel like you don't relate to other females because they're always talking about guys. They're always not gossiping, but they have a big friend group, right? They get everything handed to them and things of that nature. But you don't go through the same thing because people don't deem you as so-called beautiful as these other females and things of that nature. But the whole time, guess what? The Lord chose you, man. Right? Hannah, she couldn't bear a son. She couldn't bear any kids like that. But guess what? The Lord chose her to bear a son, to be a priest to the Most High God, right? The Mary, guess what? She was a virgin in this thing, man. Virgin Mary, right? On a physical and spiritual level, right? But guess what? She gave birth to Yahweh, man. So the Lord can choose females too, man. The Lord chose Sarah to give birth to Isaac, man, which was Yahweh, brothers have ears to hear. So the Lord can choose man and female, right? Don't care about the outward appearance. All right, so look, let me go see my notes. Right, let's go to Sirach. Let's go to Sirach chapter 9. 9 and verse 8. So this is the book of Sirach, chapter 9 and verse 8. And it reads, turn away thine eye from a beautiful woman, and look not upon another's beauty. For many have been deceived by the beauty of a woman, for herewith love is kindled. Yep, saying. Love is kindled as a fire. So you got to turn away your eye from a so-called beautiful woman. She may try to take you with her looks. She got those bat wings for eyelids, right? Trying to look at you, and things of that nature. And the man, guess what? They start getting butterflies. Oh, I think she's looking at me. And your brother, your friend, tells you, hey man, go make a move. Oh, you think I should? Yeah, man, look at you. She's looking at you, man. And guess what? She's a demon, man. Don't look at the beauty of a woman, because that's where love is kindled. You probably was at a unity camp. You probably was at a camp, right? And the system, y'all made eye contact. And now guess what? You can't stop thinking about the system. Before you go to sleep, that's the last thing you think about. When you wake up, the first thing you don't do is pray. The first thing you do is go on Instagram, type in her Instagram, and now you're just stalking her. Yeah. And things of that nature, man. That's going off. All right. Sirach 9 and verse 9. And it reads, sit not at all with another man's wife, nor sit down with her in thine arms, and spend not thy money with her at the wine, lest thine heart incline unto her, and so through thy desire thou fall into destruction. Right, so if you're a man in this thing, and there's a woman who's married, you shouldn't be sitting down or talking or even looking at her at all, man. That's your brother's wife. Why would you do something so abominable and commit adultery with her or look upon her, man? That's somebody else. Hey, that's somebody else, like it says in Sirach. So possession, man. That's theirs. You can't be covetous in this thing. But once you start looking at her, yeah, one moment, y'all say shalom, then it is what it is. You peel off. The next moment is shalom, how you doing? A small conversation, then it is what it is. You peel off. The next moment, y'all having a long conversation. There's some wine in the midst. Y'all both sipping some wine at the new moon. And guess what? Y'all talking for a long time. He said, hey, do you braid hair? Guess what? She says, yes, I do. I actually have my own business. And then he said, yeah, let me get your number so you can braid my hair. Now, does he really want to get his hair braided? Let's be real. No. But guess what? She going to give him that number because they're both drunk and their hearts are both inclined to each other, right? And he going to get the number in a week or two. He's at the house getting his hair braided, and then afterwards, guess what? He's doing something else with that woman while the man is at work. And that man is his brother in the same camp, man. That's off, right? You cannot look upon another's beauty because he's going to lead you to wickedness, right? Let's get another precept. That's why Job, all right? That's why Job chapter 31, he said, I have made a covenant with my eyes. You got to make a covenant with your eyes in this thing, right? A promise with your eyes saying, I would not look upon a maid. Because once you start looking upon a maid, looking upon these men, you're going to start lusting. The eye is the most wicked thing ever made. Just think about it, right? That's in Sirach. I believe 31 and 13. Let me see if I can get that. If I don't know it, it's the Lord's will. If I do, I'll praise the Most High, right? I believe it's Sirach 31 and 13, though. Sirach 31 and verse 13. Remember that a wicked eye is an evil thing, and what is created more wicked than an eye? Therefore it weepeth upon every occasion. So the Lord said in Ecclesiasticus, or not also known as Sirach 31 and verse 13, remember that a wicked eye is an evil thing, man. Because you want to have imaginations about lust if you didn't have eyes. The only reason why you think about that one female, that one brother, is because you saw him, whether it be on Instagram, whether he was teaching, he was bringing out mighty, now you lusting after him. You ask your sister, what's his Instagram? You go on his Instagram, you follow, you comment, now you're in the DM section asking, do you want to court, right? So the eye is wicked, man, right? Let's go to Job chapter 31 and verse 1. And it reads, I made a covenant with my eyes. Why then shall I think upon a maid? So even Job said the same thing. Why I made a covenant with my eyes. Why then shall I think upon a maid? When you start thinking, meditating, and you're idle about wicked things, it's going to get stronger, stronger, and stronger. And you fasting and all you can think about food, your desire to break that fast is going to get stronger, stronger, and stronger. The next thing you know, you fixing a sandwich at 3 a.m. in the morning. You fixing a sandwich and drinking some Kool-Aid with it, man. Right? Because you was always thinking about that food, and now you broke that fast and you gave over to your lust. Same thing in this conversation, in this what's it called? In this idea, for lack of better words. So like, but if you're always thinking upon a man, you're always thinking upon a woman, guess what? Your heart towards her or towards him gonna grow stronger, stronger, and stronger until you can't wait to fulfill the lust of your heart, man. So we can't be looking upon someone's outward appearance. You gotta be courting these people, right? What it means to court, it means to prove, right? Let's get 2 Corinthians 11 and 14, right? Because again, you may meet a very, very comely man. Got a nice beard, a nice smile. His eyes are beautiful to look at, right? He speaks nice with his words, right? He's tall, just how you like it. He got everything you like, right? It's somehow you was thinking about getting a man, marrying somebody in the truth one night. The next day you meet the so-called perfect man. He got the fringes. He got the mightiest garment on. It might say tribe of Levi, tribe of Benjamin, right? And for you, for the brothers who looking for a sister, you praying to the Lord, Babu Shah, Babu Shah, Babu Shah, can you please, please, please give me a wife? Things in that nature. The next day, guess what? Like I said before, you probably get a red bone, a nice brown skin. She's glowing in the sun. All right, you probably like him darker, right? A dark skinned sister in this thing. Nice hair wrap. She says she know how to cook, so-called, right? But you didn't prove her, right? She got a nice dress on, right? But let's see what the Lord said. All right, let's see what the Lord said, though. This is the book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 11, and verse 14, and it reads, and no marvel, for Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light. Now, is it a coincidence, right? That night you was praying about for a man, for a husband or a wife, the next day you meet the perfect you meet the perfect man, or you meet the perfect female that fits your standards. Is that a coincidence? Now it could be of the Most High God, but guess what? Satan is not a thing too. Because let me read this again: 2 Corinthians 11 and 14. And no marvel, for Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light, man. So you might see something that you really want. You may think it's gold because it glitters and things in that nature. But everything that glitters or shine isn't gold, man. Paraphrasing that saying. You may think a sister is beautiful and things in that nature. But guess what? You go in into her, you marry her. She doesn't know how to cook. She doesn't clean. She's a snob, right? She's very loud. She want to always combat and argue with you. She doesn't listen to you, right? Again, she doesn't read. She doesn't pray, and she really doesn't believe in the Most High God. It was all a front, It was all a front and things in that nature. She just wanted you. The next thing you know, guess what? You married to her for life, and you can't do nothing about that, right? And she be hitting you upside the head. She hit you while you sleep. And why are you in this predicament? Because you didn't prove that person. You was caught up in your own lust and wanted to fulfill the lust of your flesh. That's why you have a bad wife. For your sisters, you may think he bring it out mighty, right? You may think he's very comely, handsome to look upon. He got nice fringes on, right? He got like nice frankincense and myrrh and oil in his beard. But behind closed doors, he's beating you up, man. Right? He teaches you an evil lesson. He doesn't really teach you at all. He doesn't take care of you. You starving for 2 days, right? In an apartment y'all just bought with no couch, no bed. Y'all both sleep. What's it called? On an air mattress in the living room with no furniture. The only furniture y'all have is the air mattress. Because he doesn't do anything for you. He doesn't provide for you. You gotta prove these brothers, man. Right? I'm gonna read it again. 2 Corinthians 11 and 14. And no marvel, for Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light. So you got, man, just because it looks good on the outside doesn't mean it's good on the inside, right? So let's get another precept. When you proving someone, you should be making sure they believe in the Most High God and Yahushua. Making sure y'all doctrines on the same way, right? Making sure that they want to put in the work. If you proving the sister, make sure she knows how to cook, man. If you know you like your food good to be good, and you work a lot, you want your food to be done when you get off working stuff like that, prove her on that. Prove her on her knowledge of the Lord. And for your sisters out there, see if your man can teach. See if your man can lead and things of that nature, man. Right? But let's get the book of 2 Timothy 2 and 26. All right. This is the book of 2 Timothy, chapter 2 and verse 26. And it reads, and that they may recover themselves out of the snare of the devil, who are taken captive by him at his will. So a lot of people get taken captive by Satan, because the thing is, Satan, he has a trap out there, and a trap isn't really visible to be seen. It kind of camouflage in with its surrounding, right? For example, you may have a rat. A rat, it sees cheese, but it doesn't see the trap. It goes for the trees, for the cheese, and guess what? That trap kills the rat. Same thing in this nature, man. You may see something that you want, man. You may see something that you really like because she's so-called beautiful, because he's so-called handsome and comely. But guess what? You go for that you go for that thing, and you get trapped, and now next thing you know, you fall out the truth. That man you went after causes you to fall out the truth. That female you went after causes you to fall out the truth, because whole time it was Satan, it wasn't of the Most High God. You didn't beseech the Lord if this the one for you. All you wanted to do is put him or her first and not the Most High God. And that was the whole time that was Satan, man. So you got to be on the lookout for Satan. Because the Most High God can bless you. But guess what? Satan can come out in that thing too, man. Right? Let's get a precept. All right, let's get 2 Kings chapter 9 and verse 22. Let me get a few more. Then if it be the Lord's will, we're going to close out. Right? 2 Kings chapter 9 and verse 22 to touch on that point. So what are ways that Satan can trap you? What are ways that can basically be a lie to you, man, and causes you to be deceived. Right? Let's get 2 Kings chapter 9 and verse 22 real quick. This is the book of 2 Kings chapter 9 and verse 22, and it reads, and it came to pass when Jerome saw Jehu that he said, is it peace, Jehu? And he answered, what peace? So long as the whoredoms of thy mother Jezebel and her witchcrafts are so many. So this woman Jezebel was a whore. She do a lot of witchcraft. Witchcraft it's just not those magic balls, you conjuring up spirits and things in that nature. Witchcraft can be deceiving too. Let's get a form of what she did. That's witchcraft, right? 2 Kings 9 and 30. And when Jehu was come to Jezreel, Jezebel heard of it, and she painted her face and tired her head and looked out at a window. So she painted her face, man, putting all this makeup on, all this lipstick. What's that for? To attract and allure men. That's what sisters do in the world and even in this truth. They put all this mascara on, all this makeup, all this lipstick to allure and attract men. When the Lord made you in his image to be beautiful naturally, man. Eve wasn't putting makeup on. There's no account of Sarah taking 3 hours in the bathroom putting makeup on, man. Why? Because they was naturally beautiful, man. Right? No man wants to kiss his wife or have you hug him, then all that makeup on his shirt. What the hell going on, man? That's the ways of the heathen, man. That's the ways of the heathen. And Jezebel, she was a witch. So when you put all this makeup on to allure men and things of that nature, hey man, hey, that's that's really of Satan, man. Right? That's not sincere, that's of Satan. And men, guess what? Certain men, they get attracted to that. They get attracted, but when y'all be when he first see you without makeup, you a whole different person. You look probably more like a man, right? You look more like a man because he's so used to having you put that makeup on, and he doesn't love you the same, and you wonder why, right? This is the book of Revelation, chapter 2, and verse 20, and it reads, "Notwithstanding, I have a few things against thee, because thou sufferest that woman Jezebel, which calleth herself a prophetess, to teach and to seduce my servants to commit fornication and to eat things sacrificed unto idols." And you have a lot of Jezebels in this truth and not the truth. Jezebels try to seduce you, try to have force and command you to do things, man. They seduce you through their words, through their actions, right? Through their attire, the things that they look, the things that they wear. Just them looking at you, and if you start blushing and stuff like that, start talking to them, they seduced you. They already know they got you, man. Right? Verse 21, and I gave her space to repent of her fornication, and she repented not. Because you have brothers and you have sisters and brothers who have inside motive in this truth. They're not in this truth in a sincere way, right? They try to use their beauty to get men. The men try to use their comeliness and their words to get women and things of that nature to seduce you and to cause you to fall out the truth. So you gotta be aware of so-called beauty, because again, the real beauty is in the spirit, man. There'll be plenty of times, even Yahushua. Again, Yahushua wasn't so-called comely. He was the most wisest man, though. He is the most wisest man, though. Right? You may hear words and things in that nature from a poor man, but it's very wise. It's very wise, man, that you don't get from these so-called type celebrities. These poor people know a lot about wisdom, knowledge, and understanding because they've been through experience, man. But they don't look so-called comely, right? They haven't taken showers in days and weeks. But guess what? The Lord loves the meek. When I read Psalms 37 verse 11, it says the meek shall inherit the earth. Not the most beautiful person shall inherit the earth. Not the person with the tightest mitre shall inherit the earth. Not the woman with the best head wrap and the best dress and the most beautiful to look upon shall inherit the earth. But the meek, let me get that real quick. But the meek shall inherit the earth, man. That's who the Lord's dealing with. All right, let's get that real quick, though. Let's get Psalm 37 and verse 11. And it reads, "But the meek shall inherit the earth and shall delight themselves in the abundance of peace." So your heart has to be meek, man. Right? You shouldn't be prideful. You shouldn't be using your looks to get to seduce people, man. And when you get with these people, for you brothers and sisters who's watching this, who got this for to watch it, hey, you gotta prove them. Let me get one more precept and close out. Right? Sirach, chapter 6 and verse 7. Let me get that real quick. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 6 and verse 7. And it reads, "If thou wouldest get a friend, prove him first, and be not hasty to credit him." So if you looking to get a friend, a sister, you trying to get a sister, be friends with the sister and things of that nature, prove that sister first. Brother, if you looking to get a brother and have friends, so-called friends in this thing, prove that friend first, man. Or if you looking to court a woman, or a woman's looking to court a man, prove him, man. Make sure they believe in the Most High God. Make sure she knows the ins and out of the Bible. Make sure she's righteous. Make sure she's not just doing this for a front. Make sure the man knows how to teach, know how to lead in this thing. You got to prove them with the word, man. If they're not doing the ways of Sarah, if he's not doing the ways of Abraham, the ways of Christ, then that's not for you, man. But hey, you got proof. For Sirach 6 and verse 8, and it reads, "For some man is a friend for his own occasion, and will not abide in the day of thy trouble." So some people just want to be in this thing, be your friend, or so-called marry you or court you just for their own occasion, for their own profit. You may be a so-called good-looking man, and sisters want to, get down with you, man. But guess what? After they get down with you, they leave you. They only want one thing from you, and that's not you. That's something else. And vice versa, man. Some men just want to only, tackle you. People have ears to hear and do things in that nature, man. They don't really want you. They just want what you got, right? Verse 9. And it's like there might be sisters in this thing who only want you for your money, right? And there is a friend who, being turned to enmity and strife, would discover thy reproach. So you might be courting your sister, courting your brother. You might have friends. You might have friends in this thing. After y'all so-called getting one argument, now your whole business is in the congregation. Now he's throwing dirt on your name, saying you a whore. She's throwing dirt on your name, saying all manner of wickedness, man. That you wicked, but whole time your spirit is perfect with the Most High God. Just being wicked, man. Right? Throwing your business out there, right? Saying you have a bad job. But guess what? He still has a job, though. Right? Verse 10. Again, some friend is a companion at the table and will not continue in the day of thy affliction. Right? You might let that man who you should have been courting, but you didn't court him. Guess what? You was caught in the lust. Y'all laid down together, and now you pick up the phone. You call him next week. He's not answering you no more. You text him. He's not answering because all he wanted was your body. You may have a sister. You brought her to your house. Y'all so-called got married. Y'all laid down together. You go to sleep. She go to sleep, so-called, and all your stuff is gone. You wake up. All your stuff is gone. Your wallet is gone. You got finessed. Your fringes. Hey, she cut the fringes off his shirt so she can redo it. She can reuse it and put fringes on a dress, man. But guess what? She's gone. You text her, "Hey, what happened to my fringes on my shirt? Where's my wallet? Did you take it?" She's not answering because you got finesse because you didn't prove that person, man. So Lord willing, it was edifying, man. Don't go for beauty. Go for the spirit. Look upon the spirit. Be like the Most High God, who we're striving to be like. Be like Yahushua, right? And prove everyone, man. Because let me get one more precept. See, that's a spirit. All right, that's a spirit. Let's get this real quick. Let's get John. All right, John chapter 2. Because even Yahushua was on the same time. This is the book of John, chapter 2 and verse 24. But Yahushua did not commit himself unto them because he knew all men. So Yahushua knew all men. He knew all women. He knew the people who just wanted to be around him just to see a miracle. He knew the people who really loved him, like the apostles, most of the apostles except one, right? He knew the people who was only there just to see him, just to say that I've seen Yahushua. Yeah, Yahushua, my friend. Yeah, he healed me, man. Yeah, that's my boy right there, and things of that nature. Yahushua wasn't always hanging around and sharing secrets to everyone. He was only sharing secrets to his friends. You see that? Hey, we're about to go into another lesson, man, but we'll get like two more and close out, Lord willing. John chapter 15, right? I'll start at verse 13, and it reads, Greater love have no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends. Ye are my friends, if you do whatsoever I command you. Not everyone is the friend of the Lord. Same thing with you. Everyone should know everything about you, man. You should only be close with certain brothers and certain sisters, man. Y'all over here probably courting for 1 week. Now she knows everything about you, right? She knows that your downfalls. She knows what you struggle with. Now you gave your strength unto woman. The Lord said not to do so, right? You may be friends with the brother. Now he knows everything. He knows where you live. He knows the job you work at. He even knows your bank information. He knows your social security, and you wonder why. What's it called? You got frauded, man. You got what's it called? I forgot the name of it. But guess what? Your social security, your money is going up the bank, and guess what? You can't use your social security card no more because someone else is using it, and that someone else is your so-called brother who you didn't prove. Because whole time he's a scammer, man. Right? So you gotta prove people and see if they're really your friend. Right? John chapter 15, verse 15. Henceforth I call you not servants, for the servant knoweth not what his Lord doeth, but I have called you friends, for all things that I have heard of my Father I have made known unto you. So the disciples at this feast right here, the 11 apostles, those were truly the Lord's friend, man. Right? So you gotta look out and prove these people. I got one more precept, right? Lord willing. I'm gonna go back to John chapter 2. I'm gonna read verse 24 again. But Yahushua did not commit himself unto them, because he knew all men, and needed not that any should testify of men, for he knew what was in man. Because everybody don't have right intentions, man. Watch out for people around you. Prove these people. Don't go for beauty. Look upon their spirits. If their spirit brings forth good fruit, all praise to the Most High. If their spirit brings forth bad fruit, not this fruit of the spirit, then hey, it is what it is. Right? So with that, Lord willing, it was edifying. I'm going to give a koholoyim, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah. That's all praises to the Heavenly Father, which is Yahweh, in the name of his Son, Yahweh Shah. Peace and blessings to you and your household, to whomsoever is watching this, and to whomsoever is not watching this. Shalom.